everyone's method is going to work for you. So find what works for you. Like, the only way you know what works for you is by tuning into yourself and kind of quieting the noise all around you and genuinely just doing what feels right for you. And of course there's people that you could look up to and that you could follow their concepts and ideas and kind of take what resonates, but there's not really a one size fits all for this journey. It really is something you have to discover for yourself, which is actually the most beautiful part about it, is that you're unique, and at the end of the day you know what's best for you. Like, that's such a nice feeling to know that at the end of the day you know what is best for yourself. And the more that you attune yourself to that, the more comfortable you are in walking your path, and the more comfortable you are in how it's unraveling and how unique it is and how different it is, and you really start to embrace it and find a peace around it, rather than kind of looking at what the world is doing or what other people are doing. You're really just focused on what you're doing and how it's benefiting your life, or how it's not, and how you can adjust. So just take the time to tune in and kind of tune out what other people are doing and focus on what you should be doing. Because just like the jasmine that I'm sitting under, it doesn't bloom like year round. It blooms in certain seasons, and certain seasons don't necessarily have to mean 4 months or 5 months or 6 months, whatever. It can literally be a day-to-day basis. So like, what season are you in this moment? Are you in more of like an introspective moment where you just need to kind of chill? Or are you feeling more like, like you want to be speaking to other people and connecting and creating and building? Or do you want to be resting? Or like, what do you feel like in this moment is calling to you? What would be the best thing for you right now? And no one can like really tell you that except for you, by tuning in and just doing whatever it is that you feel in the moment is best. Like, and not being hard on yourself if your moment is telling you that rest is required and turning on a TV show is required, or reading a book, or laying in bed. Like, trust that your creative energy will come through, because there's many times where I've been beating up on myself because I wanted to just lay in bed and like watch something or like read, and then next thing you know, a few hours later I get like this creative freaking crazy energy coming to me, and I did so much more than I even could have thought I would do. So it's like, trust your flow, trust that like you will do what you need to do when you need to do it. And sometimes your body is telling you right now you need this. And sometimes we can be so judgmental of ourselves because we think we should be doing more and more and more. And sometimes that's not what we're supposed to do. Sometimes we're meant to just rest and relax. And that energy of creation and doing and action will come. Now, obviously, take that with a grain of salt, because if you're obviously someone that, has a pattern of always kind of doing nothing, or like being in bed all the time or whatever, then maybe there is some action that's required. But if you are someone typically that is pretty balanced and is moving towards the things that they want, then there comes a point where you can trust the flow of things, and you don't have to be so rigid and like, I need to be doing all the time. It's kind of this balance that you learn, because at the end of the day, it kind of comes down to like, this is a marathon, not a sprint. That quote, it's not something you need to be sprinting all the time. That's not a sustainable energy. Like, you can't, it's kind of like rain. Like, if it was just downpouring all the time, like, there would be no rain in the clouds left, like rain has this flow where it like, maybe it pours for a little bit, but then it starts to sprinkle. It has this like kind of flow to it. Like, it's kind of like a sprint. Like, you wouldn't be able to sprint like all the time. You have to kind of pace yourself. You have to, sprint a little bit maybe, and then jog a little bit, and then maybe walk. And then sometimes maybe you have to stop altogether and just like go grab some water and replenish, get some food in you. Then you can hit that sprint like the next day or a few days later. And then maybe there's days you're just kind of jogging, or maybe there's days you're just walking, or maybe there's days where you're resting your legs because you have shin splints. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that concept of like, you have to do what is best for you in order for your path and what you're creating to be sustainable, to be something you can keep doing forever and ever. You know, not just something that you can do for a few months and then you're done. You want this to be something that you can maintain in your life because it's something that's beneficial in your life. It's a life full of, hopefully, things you love, you know, trying new things, meeting new people, like expanding your life in a way that represents who you are and what you want to experience in life. So we want to make sure it's sustainable, not just this like sprint that only lasts a few weeks and then we're back to where we started. So make sure you're paying attention to yourself and taking care of this process that you're on so that it can go the distance. You want this path that you're building to go the distance, and sprinting doesn't necessarily get you there. So just settle into where you are, into who you are, into your unique path and who you are as an individual. Like really settle into that, find peace in that. Forget what other people are doing for a moment and really just tune into yourself and just accept it, and just accept that this is a journey that we're on. We're all on this journey. We're all, you know, as individuals going through it, and find peace that everyone is kind of on that journey together as well, because we're all having that individualized experience. And stop trying to rush it and just, okay, we're going the distance here. So what do I need in this moment? Rather than just go, 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 go. Like that's not going to get you where you really want to be. You can pace yourself. Permission to pace yourself. Permission to pace yourself. And yeah, that is all I have. I'm sending you a ton of love.